I found a dead body in my backyard, and I think it's my neighbor's wife. So I was home alone because my mom and dad were out of town, and I had school the next day. So I was going to sleep at like 11 p.m. But then I heard a big crash in my backyard. So I have this big oak tree in my backyard, and it has like these low-hanging branches that kind of drape over my fence. And I live in an old house, so the walls don't go all the way up to the roof. There's like a little gap. So I can see outside, and when I looked outside, I saw a figure hanging from the tree. So I got super scared, and I called my parents, and I was like, "Mom, Dad, you need to come home right now." And they were like, "What's wrong? What happened?" And I was just like, "There's a dead body in my backyard." Like, what? So they get in the car, and they start driving home. And I was just staring outside the window watching the same figure. And it was swaying in the wind, and I could see the face of the person, and it was my neighbor's wife. And she was hanging there with a rope around her neck, and she was dead. And I remember my mom and dad's car pulling into the driveway, and my dad immediately got out of the car with like a baseball bat, and he was screaming at my mom, "Why didn't you tell me this sooner? I could have killed him. He deserves it." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Who deserves what?" And then my dad looked at me and he was like, "Why didn't you close your eyes and pretend to be asleep when we came home?" And I was like, "I wasn't pretending to be asleep. I was actually asleep. You guys were gone for like an hour." Then my dad looked back at the backyard and he was like, "She's still there. Let's go check on her." So he grabbed the baseball bat and he went into the backyard and he started hitting the tree with the baseball bat, like trying to get her down. But then my mom stopped him. And she was like, "No, we can't do that. She's dead. We need to call the police." So my dad stopped and he was just staring at the ground and he was like, "I should have killed him." Then he walked back into the house and he was just like, "This is all my fault." And I was like, "What is everyone saying? What is happening?" But then the police showed up and they were like, "Okay, we need everyone to come see what's in the tree." So they were like, "Okay, let's go." When we all went outside, the police officer was like, "Okay, everyone stay back." He pulled out his gun, and he shot the tree like 3 times. The tree had like a bullet hole in it, and then he looked at us and he was like, "All right, we're gonna climb the tree and get the body down." So they did. It was a woman, and it was my neighbor's wife. And apparently she was hanging on to the tree for like dear life, but she had a rope around her neck. So she was already dead.